You see, right? This is why you don't do your best of AEW 2025 before the year actually ends. Because holy flying Fraggles, people, World's End was amazing. And we still have this New Year's Bash thing to go. What the fuck is going to happen there? And before we officially get into this episode, I would like to acknowledge the impending bonkers Monet. Twas predicted on this show right here from pretty much day one. Before we get into all that, get out! What's up, sickos? It's me. It's Vix Bested, and this is Don't Call Me Moi Diva, where we only talk AEW and affiliated women's wrestling in the style of kayfabe glory and whimsy. We have lore here in Don't Call Me Diva, okay? We are deep in it as well as we enter episode 33. So if you are new and forgetful and want to know more about me and why we are here and what the Fraggle I am talking about with all this lore, you got to go back and check out episode 1, okay? Because yeah, we are deep in the madness lore of Divaville for only 1 year. We haven't even been here a year yet, but like we've gotten to the gotten to the end of the year, and the lore is bonkers, but not as bonkers Monet. Ring of Honor, though, joined AEW on their small little jaunt to the UK, and they both scampered back to the States to spend Christmas in New York at the Hammerstein Ball. Both Manchester and New York had a Dynamite and a Collision, so carry-over shenanigans and dastardly deeds have increased in possibility to potentially still spill over into either shows. And did that happen? Oh, yes. Yes, it did. All of this is leading towards the fabulous World's End that we have just had. And already we have an exciting event coming up for, as previously mentioned, New Year's Bash, which is on New Year's in the Northern Hemisphere, but because I am in the far more superior hemisphere, it's already New Year's here. So it'll be New Year's Day Bash. So technically, I can do my best of 2025 because it actually is the end of 2025, but we move on. We move on. Wrestlers had deep-seated rivalries in World's End, and others felt the moment and literally danced a dance of violence, as we will get onto very shortly. Timeless Toni Storm was on boom, and she integrated with the conglomeration extremely well. I think there is a bit of future there. They could do with a little timeless love bombs in there. What would it be now? It wouldn't really be a house because you couldn't really fit them all into a house. Kind of like an apartment block, you know? I think the world champion Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter had one of the best battles that I have personally ever seen. I was completely surprised that they were able to walk out of that match. Holy frick. They both hit harder than lorry trucks, fucking just driving at each other in a demolition derby. It was a demolition derby of human flesh. And literally, literally, I believe it deserves to be in the conversation of best match of the year. I shit you not. The Babes of Wrath defended their tag titles against two of the most experienced and diverse wrestlers around at the moment. Athena was pissed that Mercedes got covered for the pin. But Mercedes was, how do you call what could you call it? A menagerie of emotions, and none of them were pretty. All menagerie of a gray emotion. She took that energy all the way to her dressing room and like magnified it and was so blind with anger that she blew past Lexi, slammed the door to her dressing room. Mercedes did not really notice that the door hadn't closed behind her, though, and we caught all of the hissy fit Miss Boat Collector was having. Lexi unintentionally, I think, pokes the bear, and Mercedes goes off. She doesn't want to hear a word about Willow, but then challenges her to a match for her TBS championship at New Year's Bash. Mercedes walks back into her dressing room and slams the door. For me, like I said, New Year's Bash will be in the new year. Ha ha! So, bon voyage, last chapter of AEW for me. But I wonder what the frick is going through Mercedes Moné's money. Money? Her money's going to be going pretty soon if her mind keeps going. But what's going through her mind right now? Like right now. What is the CEO doing? I personally envision that she is running the ropes constantly and improving her wrestling, going through about 10 training partners a day up until battle. Her strive for perfection and complete dominance might ruin her body and dry her out soon, though. She is, for all of her glitz, glamour, and violence, a human being after all. And if she keeps running herself this hard and this ragged, she's gonna collapse. I mean, there's a whole thing about battling for all these like titles, but then you gotta defend all these titles. And these challenges get harder and harder. Because not only do you learn about them, but they learn about you. And Willow knows a lot about you, Mercedes. But anyway, this is Sin from Triangle of Madness. Julia Hart and Sky Blue face My World and Hyan on Zero Hour. I'm so happy. They're getting to battle a lot of wrestlers in AEW. They are in matching battle outfits as well and do seem to be cementing themselves as a tag team, which I love. Of course, because I love tag team wrestling. We got the wonderful news very recently that they being My World and Hyan, are now both all elite, which is wonderful because now Sisters of Sin have more bodies to hurt. But we'll get there in a bit. Slave, I just want to touch on the goings on that led to World's End with a few shuffles into some extra characters here and there. Okay. This episode was kind of meant to come out last week, but brain, you know. In ROH, Rocky Romero was facing Michael Oku. And when we get Mr. Oku, we get the fabulous, the gorgeous, the mesmerizing, the passionate Amira. Amira was dressed in a stunning full-length gown, and she is bursting with pride and love and support for her man, as is tradition. Amira reminds me of the managers of old who put like everything into like building up the support for their wrestler, from the crowd. She is super animated. She slams her hands on the mat and even taunts Rocky into a fight. She is freaking great. I love her. This is why I had to slightly mention her. Michael Oku has a devastating single leg crab, by the way, that he levels up by almost bridging backwards, bringing his opponent's leg with him. Also, by the way, he gets the submission, and Amira is like, she gets called into the ring by hubby, and she gracefully races to his side and celebrates with battle poise. Well, with a battle pose sequence, sorry, which looks cool as fuck. You know me, I love a battle pose. A sequence battle pose, I'm all for it. And we slide on out of there. She is awesome. This is like the third time I've seen Amira, and I think she is freaking cool. We also got a cool little promo package chronicling all that has gone down between the pure champion, Deonna Purrazzo, Madison Rayne, and Billy Starkz Diamante. And of course, Athena. Athena was dressed fabulously, but she was pissed that Billy tapped out of, well, tapped to the Venus de Milo in their tag match. Like I wouldn't. I could. Ask Athena, when was the last time you found yourself in the Venus de Milo? In the middle of the ring, by the way. But I would not do that because doing that would make me a fool, and I am not a fool right now. All this is just adding to Billy's revenge list against Athena, if you ask me. I reckon she is already pondering a plan to take on Athena and will eventually defeat her for her title. 2026. It's going to be the year of the heel? No. The year of the character, though, I think. The loss and betrayal of that, I reckon, will send Athena into a spiral. And her own downward spiral will end up colliding with Mercedes Moné, but downward spiral. And only good can come out of that, right? So this is my 2026 prediction. Oh, I'm surprised that Madison Rayne has been brought into this feud, but I am also super intrigued. The last time these two interacted was in a match on Dynamite in February 2024 that Deonna won. Madison has done a lot for ROH though, but I personally know her from her time in The Beautiful People. There is just something about The Beautiful People that I just loved. I really did. Like at first, I was like, come on now, like, and yeah, we could go on about the wrestling, but honestly, if I start getting into the meat of that, I have a lot I want to say about the Beautiful People, and we're gonna wait for that. I'm gonna like seriously think about that, but I ended up loving them, and we'll go into that a lot later. One day, one day though, one day. Right now, we're just gonna focus on the wonderful Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne is a wrestler and she's also a coach and producer for AEW and has done some commentary here and there. She has, I honestly think, I haven't like double checked this, but off the top of my head, like I remember Madison Rayne from like day one. You know, like Madison Rayne has always been there. Before she came to AEW in August 2022. Her current entrance theme is Rainfire, done by a good friend of the show, Mikey Ruckus. But her most used theme was in her singles career and was Killer Queen, which was a remix by Dale Oliver, Serge Salinas, and Charlie Sheet, going with her nickname Queen Bee. I think a certain little Miss Kim may want to find her over that. Oh, that would be fun. Miss Kim, like little Kim right now, facing Madison Rayne right now. That'd pretty fun. Madison Rayne has held many titles throughout her 20 years of in-ring experience. She has won the TNA Knockouts World Championship 5 times, the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship 3 times, with Tennille Dashwood as the Influence, OCW, Ohio Pro Wrestling's Women's Championship twice, Shimmer's Tag Team Championship with Nevaeh, and also no champion with Nevaeh, DCW's Dynamite Championship Wrestling's ICW International Wrestling Cartel Women's Champion, and OVW Ohio Valley Wrestling's first ever Women's World Champion, and most recently, Remix Pro Fury Champion for Remix Pro Wrestling. That she won off the good doctor herself, Dr. Dick Breaker. Oh, goodness. See that brought Smoggy. What do you think of that, Smo? And Smoggy would like to say that his new favorite women's wrestler is Dr. Dick Breaker. You don't need to be a part of this, my darling. Run away. Dr. Britt fucking Breaker. I was trying to do a lovely little like bring around and like tie in with like, hey, Dr. Britt Baker, you know, the wonderful AEW Dr. Britt Baker, who we haven't seen in ages, rah, 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 rah. And then, yeah, see, now my small child is looking at me. And now I have just gone and called her Dr. Dick Breaker, which I actually kind of, we got to move on. We are talking about Mercedes right there. Mercedes, no, we're not even talking about her. We're talking about Madison. Madison relinquished that title after being champion for 1,498 days. Madison made her debut in ROH in 2008 due to a working relationship between Shimmer and ROH at the time. Rain did not stay there long, though, as she had found a new battleground in TNA. When she returned to Shimmer, Deonna and Madison had a small run as a tag team, hottest free agents, they were called, and fought for the tag titles, but were defeated by a totally tubular tag team, a team of former AEW librarian Leva Bates and a Delilah Doom. I have a note in here. I was meant to give my wonderful producer Shane the Marvelous a picture of Delilah Doom for the sickos right here, which she still may be able to do. That's the template of if I do. She's awesome. Sickos. If we don't, actually, no, fuck it. We're not going to. You go look for yourself. Give her the search numbers. I don't fucking know. Go look for Delilah. Yeah, Delilah Doom. It's about how you think. The sickos will love her. Y'all love her. Go check her out. Madison Rayne even got into the Mae Young Classic in 2018, which I totally forgot about. But she was eliminated in the first round by former ROH World Champion Mercedes Martinez. I haven't seen Mercedes Martinez in a while. Is she injured? I didn't look into that. Madison went on to defeat Britt Baker, not her alter ego Dick Breaker, for her Remix Pro Fury title, and then defeated her again in ROH to become the #1 contender for the Women of Honor title, which ended up being a four-corner survival match for that said title, and that 3 times Women of Honor champion Kelly Klein won against Rain Q, who is Wendy Chu, by the way, and Sumie Sakai. So, oh, I said that wrong. Sumie Sakai, who was the inaugural and longest reigning Woman of Honor champion. Klein held the title until 2020 for 123 days until it just became inactive. Poof. Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary were the tag champs when the Influence first went for the titles, but they were defeated, unfortunately. They did then go on to have a #1 contenders match against Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering, which the Influence then won, but it took like 6 months for them to get their title shot. And by this time, the Inspiration were the title holders. Also, Smooth Brain sidebar. Smooth Brain sidebar. How dumb fuck was the Wobbly Wobbly in splitting up the Iconics? Like, that really was some smooth brain shit, right? That was so dumb. So dumb. The Influence would win those titles, and they held them for 106 days. Just before Madison Rayne joins AEW, the Influence lost their tag titles to Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie and had a final battle in TNA against Mia Yim, which she lost. I remember really wanting Mia Yim in AEW when she was in TNA. I was like, and you know, I would still obviously like open her with welcoming arms. Fucking hell. Um, you know, if she ever did. But she went back to the Wobbly Wobbly, which I hope she loves. And it seemed like she was doing some good shit. So as long as she's happy, she's happy. Although there's levels. But we're not in those levels right now, so we're gonna just move on. Hate the company. Don't dislike all the wrestlers. I swear this has all come up naturally. I swear. I swear, I swear, I swear. Which, if anything, just, you know, cements her sainthood of the show. But I shit you not. The first match Madison Rayne has in AEW is on Rampage against the wonderful, the fabulous, the baddie of pro wrestling, future world champion and champion of our hearts, Layla Gray. Who was in the voice is gone. Who was in the baddies? A stable with Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan at the time of battle. Lady Gray is celebrating 1 week since her win of the WBFF Entertainment title. So go over and say congratulations to her. It will actually probably be 2 weeks by now. So go say congratulations to her twice. 3 times. Why not? Miss Gray celebrated by sharing pics of her in the star bikini she wore in the competition. Everyone's a winner. Customizing her knee brace with her outfit was like a fabulous touch. Like seriously, go, 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 go. I send you forth. I send you forth to go to Layla Gray. You're just gonna come back. How long should I give you? Just pause me, okay? Because that could be a while. It's amazing. Believe me. Anyway, Madison Rayne defeated her, but Layla gave her a battle. Afterwards, the TBS champion Jade Cargill and all of her wrestling muscles come out talking crap on the mic, and Madison manages to turn the ambush on Kiera Hogan and slammed Kiera Hogan's face into the mat with the stunning rolling cutter called Cross Rain. Madison Rayne did not end up dethroning the TBS champion, of course, but a few months later, Madison would have a few tag matches with Sister of Sins on Sky Blue, back when pre-misted Sky Blue. Madison Rayne is before us in this promo, gowned in deep blue. Her long hair is auburn, and it just looks beautiful against the blue of her dress. Lexi Nair, with all the hair, is gowned in a all black, gorgeous looking ensemble. And she has some questions for Miss Rayne, as do we all. Lexi fills us in on what Madison has been up to out of the ring, but wants to know what has brought her back and teaming with the Pure Bait, Pure Women's Champion. Madison Rayne's chamber is not empty, and she has 2 bullets with the names Athena and Diamante on them. Ew. Madison gives us a stern stare with cheekbones that could cut a stone, but Lexi Nair's amused smile captures my attention before we fade out. Does Lexi know what Athena and Diamante have planned? Will she be warning them of Rayne's threats? Or is the idea of Athena and Diamante again taken down, giving Lexi the good vibes? We don't know. No more questions can be answered, but we shall be keeping an eye on that. I was a little late to the whole Lexi involved with the Athena thing. Have yet to catch up as well. That's got to be a segment that we've got to delve into that, because that could all be coming up soon. Ooh. Back in the Welsh ring, Nina Samuels from London, England, comes sashaying down the entrance ramp. Nina is looking fabulous in a dark pinky purple and black battle jacket with flowers, with matching battle outfit. Nina is full of feminine energy as she makes her way into the ring. She is facing a wrestler that could, literally cosplay as her and as each other and completely fool us all. It's insane how much these women look like each other. Woo. And I'm sorry, but the announcer fucking killed her introduction of Alex Windsor. When Francesca Oliver, which is her name, who is the announcer of Rev Pro, said Windsor. I mean, at the time of writing this, I had it permanently in my mind, but now I can't remember what she said. But it was it was amazing. It gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps? Goosebumps. I swear, no bullshit. Windsor should literally replace, her. Windsor! at the beginning of her like entrance with like Francesca Oliver's version because that was amazing. Oh, after the handshake. After the handshake of honor, as is tradition, Alex doesn't let go of Nina's hand. She twists and turns Samuels around into an unconsensual dance of violence until she gets Nina to the ground and lets out a while squeezing Samuel's head in a side headlock. When Nina Samuels uses her long, very strong legs to get to her feet, she tries to roll and twist out of Windsor's grasp, but Alex has her hand in a death grip. Alex Windsor is looking stunning, and this is a perfect moment to explode into celebration because our gorgeous Alex Windsor has beaten Ulta Boatman Nay for her Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship, and this is her second reign as champion. Alex Windsor's first reign is currently the longest in the title's history. The battle took place in the whimsical town of Manchester after Mercedes put out an open challenge. Obviously, very confident after her recent defense. The ego hath rotted thy brain, and she did not think that one through. The extra big entrance ramp for the special collision that night made the fight like a real big pay-per-view feel, like it really did. Mercedes is wearing another choice as her battle gear and is bouncing that CEO walk down to the ring as the topless menfolk carry the gold. She's going to have to fire one of them now, along with giving up 2 boots. Mercedes regrets everything as soon as Windsor hits and the crowd goes badonkadonk. Windsor is doing me the personal favor of dressing in black battle gear for this clash for the championship, and I am here for it. She looks epic, fabulous, and strong as folk. Not gonna lie, fell in love. But it's not about me. It's about this upcoming battle for the belt. Windsor has been secretly getting for these last few weeks, and she puts the icing on the cake with a Windsor from the ropes. Oh, Mercedes is almost eating her own lips with the menacing mumbling under her breath. She did this to herself, though, and that's going to sting. Windsor almost drops kicks Mercedes back to the wobbly, and a look of shock on her face has a moment to shine before Alex is cracking her in the ribs and driving Monet back into the corner. Alex tries to get a bit fancy way too early and ends up running face first into Mercedes' boots. Like it was nothing, though. Alex Windsor eats that boot and then runs rings around Ulta Boatman, who desperately tries to take her out with a lariat, but then bam! Windsor decapitates Monet with a flying lariat with an extra boost, and Mercedes goes down. Dazed as fuck, Mercedes takes Alex's hand as though she were a friend, helping her up after a little drunky stumble. But Alex Windsor is not her friend, and this is not Sunday at 3 a.m. We are in the ring, and Windsor has spun a very confused Mercedes around and then takes her off her feet again. Sorry, with a Russian leg sweep, and quickly follows up with a short lariat and then goes for the pin. Now, Mercedes Monet just rocked the fluke out, but she is still kicking out of this pin. And before the ref's hand can kick too, she is out of there, almost rolling right out of the ring. Windsor doesn't let a kick out spoil her mood, though, and she hits up the fans for another Windsor. Alex grabs Monet's fluffy red legs and wraps them around for a sharpshooter, redonkulously close to the ropes. The wiggly multiple champion makes it to the ropes and breaks out of the hold. Mercedes cracks Alex in the face with a running Meteora on the apron, which would definitely halt any normal mortal. But Alex rolled through and yoinks those fluffy red legs up again. She goes to put them in a sharpshooter right then and there, but the ref is yelling, "Yo, this can't go on. You're in illegal territory for submission shenanigans." But Monet is also clawing and dragging herself to the ring post to try and get this beast of a woman off of her so she can make her escape. None of this stopped Windsor at all. She just stalked on up to Mercedes, flings her up onto the apron, where Monet's quick thinking kicked in, and she tries to turn it into a kick to her face, but Windsor blocks it, catches her, takes Mercedes off the apron, and then slams her down onto the floor. Alex gives no fucks, feels no pain. Windsor gets right up and grabs Monet by the hair. Can we do a little shout out to Mercedes Monet hair installers? I followed them. Sorry, can't remember their name. They're a freaking legend for what they can do. Amazing. She hits her into the ring and quickly follows. Alex goes for the pin, but Mercedes noopes the fuck out of it. Alex Windsor has come to win this championship. Actually, should I say championships? I wonder if Rev Pro will ever mold those two titles together. I kind of wish they would. I'm not a fan of hey, this one title is these two titles. Smush them. But Windsor is not letting Mercedes get any breath out of this. When Mercedes finally lands a backstabber on Windsor, she engages into rage mode and nails Alex in the side of the head with a running knee after sending her, skull first, into the ring post. The CEO takes a moment to gloat, but she is already very disheveled. Mercedes then catches herself slipping, and soon that CEO smile beams across her face. No worry, not a worry in her brain. Mercedes hits Alex with a pin, but Windsor doth not stay down and kicks out before the three. Monet cracks her in the head with some elbows and some knees, and even resorts to holding onto the ropes to stop Windsor kicking out of the pin. But it does not help her. Windsor is too strong. Mercedes in her battle gear mocks the applauding crowd and then sits on Windsor's back while she wrenches up on Alex's chin, using all of her weight to keep Alex down on her stomach. Windsor still manages to get to her feet, though, and panic fills Monet's face, but she quickly turns it into another deadlier backstabber, but goes for an unsuccessful pin. Mercedes locks on the three amigos, but is blocked by Windsor at the third. Quick footwork sent Alex Windsor headfirst into the turnbuckle, but targeting her head may not have the same effect as it would on other wrestlers, as she uses her head as a very efficient weapon whilst in battle. Mercedes will feel that in the worst way possible as she flies up the top rope into the headbutt of Alex Windsor. And that was how she died. Jokes. Mercedes Monet lies in a crumpled heap in the middle of the ring. Fans are confused. They have no idea if this is real or not. Is she dead? The ref is like, "Yo, are you alive?" And seems to, a little ready to pronounce her dead right there on the spot. But Mercedes starts to stir and rolls over onto her side, alive and still in that battle gear. Everything Alex Windsor does to Mercedes hurts. Mercedes uses all of her wrestling skill and submission power to counter the barrage of pain that but Alex still manages to kick out of everything. Mercedes is so mad that after this kick out that she stares daggers down the lens of the camera. And I genuinely start to feel afraid and start to worry if Mercedes can somehow hear me taking these casual digs at her battle outfit. The two wrestlers, again, engage in the dance of violence until Alex Windsor demolishes Mercedes Monet, again with an avalanche blue thunder of beauty. Alex tries to drag Monet's limp body further into the ring, but in the end gives up and goes for the cover. Mercedes just the threat. Another burst of violence explodes out of Mercedes, and she cracks Windsor's back with another backstabber that rolled into a beautiful statement maker. Again, though, Mercedes couldn't keep Alex down. Not on the mat, not anywhere. And she gets back to her feet and out of danger. Windsor goes to put Monet into the sharpshooter again, but she's feeling herself a bit too much. And this gives Mercedes a chance to give her a right old kick in the tits. Some seriously as fuck, speaking of tits, wrestling takes place in the last 30 seconds of this match. It is outstanding. I watched the last 30 seconds of this match probably like 10 times. That ended with a Alex is now the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion. Please, can we get a more snippy name? And the CEO has now lost another boat belt company slice of sanity. Maybe. The crowd goes berserk. Alex is like, what the actual fuck? That really happened. And Mercedes, well, she's going to do what she's been doing for after the other ones. Well, she clutches that TBS championship close. And it looks like she may be having a mini breakdown right there. As beautiful family moments happen in the ring. Mercedes continues her emotional roller coaster on the apron. Oh dear. We do not know how Mercedes leaves the ringside area or when. But as we float off to ads, one can but ponder. Within 12 days, she has lost 2 titles, and it's coming up to the Owen Hart tournament time again. So she's going to have to relinquish Pinky no matter what. I guess unless she's in it again. She probably, do you think she would be? I don't think there's like an Owen Hart stipulation doohickey that says that like the previous champion can't be in. I don't think. Yeah. But she's going to have to relinquish it anyway until she may either win it again or next year. But before we get into all of that, Windsor had a battle to win in white against Nina Samuels. Remember we were talking about Nina Samuels and Alex Windsor's fight before we twaddled off into the title match? Nina Samuels has 11 years of in-ring battle experience, and I have the driest mouth in all of existence, as we were saying. 11 years of in-ring battle experience, and has won a buttload of champion bouts. And here they are. You ready? Let's go. She has won the Women's Wrestling Underground Championship, Women of Cult, W3L Women's, the Title Women's, the Riot Cabaret Women's, the Progress Women's, Lucha Britannia World Champion 4 times, EVW Limitless, Eve Tag Team Champion with Shantai Jordan, Eve International, Eve Champion twice, CXW Women's Champion, the BLW Women's Champion. That's a fucking lot. For 11 years? That's a lot. She even has her own match that she uses to settle rivalries, and it is called the Nina Samuels Show Gauntlet. Samuels challenged the AEW World Champion for her Eve International title, but was unable to take the championship. Nina then had a match with Kanji in a loser leaves Progress Wrestling match. That didn't go well for her either, and she lost that match. Nina, I mean, it doesn't seem like she has her own stipulation match, but it really doesn't seem like it goes well for her. Nina is in a stable with Alex Windsor, funnily enough, called Cutthroat Collective, but this knowledge won't help her win this match. Has her lifetime of a heel come to pinch her in the butt? Potentially. Nina Samuels will show us all how dangerous she can be. I love Alex Windsor. So why did I say it like that? I was about to read Swagger before I said Alex Windsor, so tune into that. I love Alex Windsor's swagger. And that just comes out of her as she stalks her prey ringside. She's got real good swagger. I love it. Nina will manage to roll out harm's way, and she ends up cracking Windsor in the head with a beautiful swift kick to the head, which was followed by fabulous stomping that looked like it released some frustration. Samuels goes, I stopped them because I quickly had a thought. I wonder if Alex Windsor will like hire herself out for frustration stompings. And I was like, move on, Bexy. That's a stupid plan. Move on. Samuels goes for the eyes and digs her fingernails into Alex Windsor's eye sockets right in front of the ref. And it ain't that kind of match, so very illegal. But it does the trick anyway, because the fingernails, they're already in there. It looked so vicious that even Ref Aubrey had to check to see if Windsor still had said eyeballs. Nina becomes quite dominant in this battle, actually, by utilizing some very devious tricks and cracks Windsor in the back of the head with her knee. Samuels fucks up with the smarmy cover, and Alex Windsor nopes the fuck out of her second pin. Nina yells out in frustration, but come on, woman. Look at that pin. Alex chops and lariats the life out of Nina. Samuel should have been better with that pin. But Nina refuses to give up and succumb to the blue thunder bomb that takes her down. Windsor goes, fine then, and whips her into the ropes and kapow! She nails Nina with the other blue thunder bomb. Nina kicks out, so Windsor goes for the sharpshooter this time. But Nina scoops her up in a cheeky little roll up. She has plans. Alex kicks out, but Nina is on. She whips her stiff kicks back into action. This time, when she goes for the pin, Windsor still kicks out, but is not as strong as it had been. Those swift, strong kicks had done their damage. These two beat the living shit out of each other. The stiffness of when they collide, I literally felt it through the screen. You can tell that these two women have done many a battle with each other. Windsor decides to end Nina's life, though, and slams her down into the mat with an avalanche twisting suplex that literally was a thing of beauty. Windsor goes for a cover. It's a shit cover. And by the will of battle, Nina Samuels kicks out. She has nothing left to counter the next sharpshooter, though, and the future Rev Pro champion makes Nina Samuels tap out instantly. Also, on that show, Session Moth Martinez here. She had a little battle with ROH Tally champion Red Velvet, and it was really good. Session Moth is pumped, and the crowd is pumped, and I was pumped, but there really is so much going on. Even Jamie Hayter and Isla Dawn's battle was hard hitting. Oh my goodness, Dawn was the perfect opponent for Jamie just before her battle against the world champion Chris Statlander. Isla Dawn has joined forces with the Grizzled Young Veterans as well, and they would make a perfect candidates for the trios titles, right? STP is another banger of the group for those intergender trios. But moving on from all of that, because we really do have to move on here. Great matches though. Athena, Mercedes, Moné, Marina Shafir, and Megan Bayne had an outstanding 8-man tag against the Babes of Wrath and the Timeless Love Bombs, which they ended up winning in superb, if perhaps slightly dastardly fashion. Not that I said anything. Bayne is gathering so much battle experience and bonuses right now with her traveling back and forth from Japan. When she gets back to full-time AEW, like everyone is fucked. This 8-man tag was very good. It was chaotic brilliance at some points and terrifying at others. Near the end of the match, Marina had Toni Storm like smothered in mother's milk way under the ring. We didn't even see her at all after that. Not even like Mina's tender butt slaps could awaken Toni Storm after the match. Bayne, Shafir, Athena, and Mercedes. They work surprisingly well together. They really did. What would be interesting now will be how Marina Shafir acts towards her and the other wrestlers she has been battling with, considering what occurred with the Death Riders leader, not Renee, and his softening, so to speak. She smiled. It was unnerving. Earlier in World's End, they had all been apart from Mox, who did compete twice in this pay-per-view, just not in this match. They competed. Did they complete? That's not for me to say. They being the other Death Riders, and Marina competed in a mixed nuts match against the Conglomeration with Toni Storm. Thing of beauty. Oh, Toni Storm was dancing the literal dance of violence with the Briscoe and the Orange and the entire match is an absolute delight. It's a lovely little palate cleanser, something a little silly, but also extremely talented, and also rife with storytelling as well within the match. It's brilliant. The Death Riders and the Conglomeration with Toni Storm bounced off each other beautifully. It was a lovely little match to have before the world. Before the world. Was it before the world? I think it was before the world. I think it was before the world between Stat and Hayter. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. But no, that was a brilliant match. But yeah, what's Marina gonna be like now with a certain thing? Will they be tagging anymore? The battle on 0 Hour was between Sisters of Sin and with Maya World. It was on 0 Hour, but it was one of my favorite matches, and everyone can watch it for free. Yes, even you can watch it for free, Smoggins. Yes, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Mother, can I watch the Sisters of Sin match against High and Maya World on YouTube, on AEW's YouTube for free? Can I, Mother? Can I? Yes, you can, son. Yes, you can. But after Mama needs to, right now, need to work. Okay? I love you. You're such a good boy. Thank you for asking. Move along. All right. Julia Hart and Sky Blue came out bathed in darkness, as is tradition. Sky in black and blue, and Julia. Oh, Sky in black and blue, my bad. And Julia in black with red. Julia has on her fabulous battle jacket, and Sky has on her crown of violence. So that, that bodes well for Hyan and Maya. Despite this, though, Maya and Hayam prove why they have been chosen to take on the Sisters of Sin and give them a fight. Can you hear my voice disappearing in the entire sentence? Can you? Oh, look, it's gone. Where is it gone? Maybe not. And she's back. Anyway, despite this, though, yada, yada, yada. They do not make it easy on Blue and Hart to win this match at all. Hyan and Maya have been battling on the indies and have a lot of matches under their belt, as they say. We spoke about them in previous episodes of the show. So go back and listen. I can't remember what they are right now, but they're back there. But the way they have recently combined so freaking quickly into an almost very successful tag team is very impressive. Now they are all elite and they can work a little bit more on this and harness their power and craft, and we may just have future champions right here. You think? Either way, they're going to be wonderful battle foes. What they have done with the time they have been given in battle along these last months or so is commendable and very inspiring. They have very cool matching lime green and black gear this evening, which also like tops off their whole tag team vibe. So yeah, I think these two are going to be like, I think they're a new tag team for shizzle. For shizzle. First off, can I just say, Sky Blue's back muscles are coming for Marina Shafir's crown. I swear. She is getting some armor built up back there. Woo! And it helped in this match, absorbing the blows coming from high end that came like from the beginning. Blue is a hometown girl and she soaks up the extra power boost from the crowd, which definitely helped. Julia Hart gets into the ring to help a bit, but Maya and Hyan do not make it easy for them to take control that quickly. Maya, World, and Hyan get Blue and Hart out onto the floor, but they form a trap. And both Hyan and Maya just run straight into headlocks. And then they get a little nice little swinging neck breaker onto the floor, like a hanging swinging neck breaker onto the floor. Surprisingly, that won't end the match though. Maya World and Hyan have had many battles, as I've said, and are quite powerful themselves. They do not have the lust for violence in the realm of dark magic behind them, but they are already a pretty damn great tag team. Sky Blue manages to connect with Code Blue again for the only like the second time this year. But Maya World was not the legal member of her team, so the finisher into the pin meant absolutely nothing. Maya and Sky had exchanged some heavy forearms to the jaw, but Hyan wasn't the legal one. But Maya wasn't the legal one. No, but Hyan was the legal one, not Maya. Oh my God. You see, she goes around in circles, she gets there in the end. Throughout the madness of battle, things have become a little confusing. Like right now. Hyan reminds Blue by kicking her in the face, right as Sky was yelling at the ref to count the pin. Hyan goes for the lariat. This guy ducks it and falls into the ropes. Hyan doesn't even notice that Julia has gotten back into the ring here, and Hart super kicks Hyan in the face. Blue recovers and she super kicks her in the face as well. Sisters of Sin nail Hyan with the assisted swing Uranage, and they get the one and the two and the three is bask in their glory, as they have every right to do, and they look powerful as fuck. Lexi Nair, with all the hair and her gorgeous black dress, interview Athena and Mercedes, who are feeling much better. Lexi almost ruins the mood by triggering the TBS champion, but the fallen goddess, the forever champ, the minion overlord, the American Joshi, the ROH world champion Athena, has an idea for World's End. She proposes a tag team title match against the Hussies of Wrath Howard. And this makes Mercedes giddy with like literally giddy with joy. It was a bit unsettling. This battle will take place at World's End, and fuck me, was it good. We'll get into that later. The Babes of Wrath look like they have been living in the ring since winning those tag titles, and no amount of like individual talent was going to be able to topple that connection on that evening. And I say this as Athena being one of my favorite wrestlers ever, but I knew that I knew she was not coming out of that battle with those titles. Mercedes Moné is immensely talented and can take a title as soon as she like locks eyes with it. But tag titles require cohesion and partnership, and there is no way that those two were going to be working as a team for long enough for them to win the tag titles right now. Maybe later. Those titles are really pretty, aren't they? I love the tag titles. Speaking of pretty, though, sidebar, hasn't the TNT title had a little glow up? She's a pretty little minx herself. Speaking of stunning, for the battle between the Icons and the Babes of Wrath, Athena is the first to come out in a glow of purple and pink. Athena comes out to the entrance ramp, bursting with confidence in a black and red sparkly as fuck ensemble and strapped up to her was a battle game. Athena spins her way to the ring and happily stomps her way down to the ramp and awaits her tag partner. The CEO, Mercedes Moné, the belt collector and boat collector of the year. Monet is in her orange and gold title defense pay-per-view battle jacket of luck, I'm assuming, which she has worn like a few times now. Boat Monet confidently struts to the ring and joins Athena for their battle pose. No half-naked paddle boys. really needed now since three of them won. Babes of Wrath's music hits, and they do not waste time coming down to the ring. They are pumped. The babes are in matching tiger print and red battle gear. Very cool. The babes dominate Mercedes from the moment the bell hits. Athena gets a tag in and almost ends up in a double suplex, but she was targeted by Harley. And no diss, but Harley is the least experienced out of this foursome, especially compared to Athena. And Harley finds herself plowed straight through by Athena's sliding lariat. Athena's swift actions put her and Mercedes in charge of the match for a little while, but the the Babes of Wrath truly do have the extra power bonus of the tag titles, along with the hard work they have been putting in behind them. Athena torpedoes herself through the ropes, as is tradition, to take out Willow, but was too cocky, as is tradition, to that Harley had taken a position on the apron, and she just flew at Athena, taking her out with a beautiful crossbody. And they slam down onto the outside, or onto that hard floor. But it's not over, folks. Athena rolls through, yoinks Harley's body, as she does, without a moment of hesitation. Athena then gets to her feet with Harley firmly in her clutches. But then suddenly, bam! Willow takes her off her feet with a spear, and Athena crashes down onto the floor with Harley on top of her. Ugh, all that strength used for nothing. They get back into the ring, and the shenanigan experience of Athena and Mercedes gives them the shenanigan experience. Oh, the shenanigan experience. What does that line mean? I have no idea. We're going to have to, because they got back into the ring, and the shenanigan experience of Athena and Mercedes. Ah! She's figured it out, folks. She's figured it out. She's going to take a sip of drink. She's figured out her own words. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Not I. Anyway, they get back into the ring, and the shenanigan experience of Athena and Mercedes gives them a significant advantage for quite some time. And they had to have thought that they were very close at taking those titles. But Harley would just not stay down, and she would definitely not give up. They did a fantastic job at isolating her from Willow and not allowing her to tag in. But eventually, Cameron's toughness pulls her through the onslaught, and she finally tags in Willow, who rams through Mercedes and Athena. And I'm going to have to take a slight little walk that way because my small fluffy child wants to get the fuck out of this room. And to be honest, I don't really blame him. The forever champ, the fallen goddess, the minion overlord, the American Joshi, ROH's world champion, explodes with strength, lifts Willow onto her shoulder, and cracks Willow in the face with a despicable knee. But that won't keep Willow down. She has to tag out, though. And luckily, well, she being Willow has to tag out, though. And lucky for her, Harley was back up to full strength and had hit that boost button. Athena was stunned and taken off her feet, literally, by Harley. They both try and take Cameron out when she goes to the top rope, but Willow was back pretty quickly, and she power bombs both Monet and Athena at the same time. Harley then hits the crossbody, but that won't end the match either. What would end the match, though, would be a beautiful double underhook Ganoske clutch. Yeah, the double underhook Ganoske clutch. Thank you to Mr. Zachariah on the Squared Circle Reddit for providing the name for this pin, because I was looking everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. Who would have thought that place would have been helpful? Willow took control of Monet quickly and confidently, and Mercedes could not get out of it. Tight as Fook pin, and Willow gets the one, the two, the three. Don't know why I do that. Mercedes was released, and she hits straight up. She sits straight up. She doesn't hit straight up. She sits straight up. Absolutely stunned burgers. Athena was enraged. She didn't get into the ring in time, and she will be completely blaming Mercedes for this loss. While the crowd and the tag champions celebrate the win, Mercedes glitches in front of our eyes. She slides out of the ring and she's like clutching at her TBS championship again. But this time, do we see tears? I thought I saw like maybe some brewing. But then Athena just rips and is just going off at Mercedes, like right there at her. And Mercedes is just like, the way she clutches at her TBS title after this match, once again, it makes me so confused as to why she would put it up against Willow so soon. I really do think that she is going to regret saying this after that New Year's bash. But we will find out tomorrow. Well, you will already know, but we will find out tomorrow, you know. Holy flying fraggles, sickos. The World Championship match was absolutely phenomenal. I have not seen such a clash of strength and endurance between two equally powerful wrestlers in a while. Hater was like bringing it to the world champion, like with every single hit. They completely demolished each other, but yet kept getting up and still had more power to give. Whew. Even though she did not win, I really do feel like a round two is definitely needed between Hater and Statlander. Like I shit you not, I honestly think it was really top contender for match of the year. Hater comes out in like a slightly darker, almost kind of like how Willow and Harley's gear looked, you know, like a little animal printy with some red, but it wasn't. It was all like these beautiful dark but darker patterns. I noticed a lot of people had picked up that her gear was going a little darker. I was like, is Hater going a bit darker? I've always seen Hater as a what they call like a tweener. That's how I see Hater. She's kind of like whatever gets the job done, you know, and I'm here for it. And it actually turns out, looking at it much more properly, it is a multitude of animal print that Miss Hater has on her gear. Looks like, also, I think her hair is slightly darker. The world champion comes out in this amazing, almost oversized straight jacket type deal. Very, very good goal. It's very, very cool. Anyway, the entire crowd is electric for this match. Absolutely electric. As soon as the bell rings, you can just like hear it throughout the entire arena. Chicago is going bedonkers. Absolute bedonkers. In the end, though, our world champion would win. The power of Statlander finally bit the power of Jamie Hayter in this moment, anyway. And yeah, like I said, it was an absolute thing of beauty. I do not have a detailed recounting of this match, I have to say, because completely all cards on the table. Bixie ran out of time. She laughs at her own incompetence. So, next week, we are going to do a nice little rundown of that match in its property, not like, point by point. Because have you noticed we're trying to converse a little bit more here in like the Don't Call Me Diva world? Have you noticed a little change? What do you think? What are you thinking out there? I have been like humming and hurrying with like what I like to work with. I like a little like detailing because of course it's like I also like to kick the microphone a lot. You'll know that if you're new here. Yeah. One day that will stop. Um, but like I like to like point out the good shit that'll like the women do and talk about it in like depth and in detail so you all know what they're doing because it's so important in the world of wrestling what they're doing. So yes, so I'm not gonna bullshit you and hum and ha and try and make up something out of my own recollection. I didn't have time. I did not have time. So yeah, so we're gonna go through that match properly next week. Yeah, in the new year. which sucks because look at this beautiful little graphic we got going on here. But we will have this graphic again because we're gonna. All right. Okay. You forgive me. Of course you forgive me. That's why you're here. You're here for this nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, let's get the fuck out of here, shall we? Thank you. 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 Thank you for joining us on this mental ride that is Don't Call Me Diva. I love being silly and I love being able to share it. And I love that people also love it and it brings people joy because the fun world of wrestling should always bring people joy. So yeah, yay! Thank you for helping me make a dream come true, as they say. But it is actually true because I have always thought about this. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you have like support. Hey, support makes the world go round, like love and support. What are you going to do? So yeah, so thank you to the wonderful Shane for all of his hard work this year. He's put in so much work, putting up with me, who just rabbles on and is always late, even though I'm from the future. I'm always late. Constantly late, constantly writing and scrambling through at the most strangest hours of the day. But we're here and he makes it work. Yay! So here is to a wonderful 2026 where we get to talk more madness, make up more insane lore. Go on, do the whole like, what was your this, that, and the other things of 2025 in the comments. Because when this comes out, it will actually be 2026. So I will allow that sort of shenanigans. I hope you were enjoying the other show that lives in the real world. We're not there much, but we live in the real world. The Books and Bex show. I hope you are enjoying all of that madness. Sometimes the worlds combine, but that's just funny. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this entire year's discussions? Hey, what have you thought? We've improved, we've moved, we've shimmied, we've shammied, we've shenaniganed our way through everything. Go leave your thoughts in the comments down below. You know where they are. They're sprinkling in down there, around here, up here, under there. If you so wish, yeah, I'll leave them in comment sections appropriately to wherever you are in your time zone. And if you would like to subscribe whilst you're there, I will also be very grateful. Will she stop rambling and laughing? No, probably not. You can find me lurking threads at Bex Bastet. There's an underscore in there, by the way. And under a tree in Blue Sky, Bex hyphen Baxtet. Baxtet? Oh, God. Bastet. Jesus Christ. You can follow us on TikTok as well. Don't Call Me Diva Show. Thank you once again to my wonderful producer, Shane, my excellent editor and promoter extraordinaire who puts up all this. Go check out his Ethos Media Network if you'd like to check out more diverse content. He goes off on one in a recent one. Go watch that. It's brilliant. Join us all at sickosclub.com and at Sickos Club on Threads. You've never met a more inclusive, smart, kind, and talented bunch of silly sausages who also happen to really enjoy wrestling and also seem to think that this is funny. That's what Don't Call Me Diva. I'm a freaking Dunburger. Can you tell? Women's wrestling rules! Don't be a dick.